Excellent. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday evening here in the UK. And I was just busy explaining, and I thought I'd put it on the introduction that I'm hoping this presentation is going to be suitable to be cut into a video that we can get out to all the other wealth warriors around the world, and also for us to get it out to new prospects, but maybe people that have already joined us in one or other of the platforms, and we now want to explain to them why they should look at the other platforms we have on offer, and maybe give this out to people who are not with us in Wealth Warriors at all, not with you in any other platforms, and it will give them the confidence to join you in some or all of the platforms that we are promoting, thereby generating for you an increase in your permanent network. So if you are receiving this video and you're not yet with Wealth Warriors, you don't know what it's about, pay attention. You're about to be introduced to a system that's been a couple of years in the making. It's not a platform. You'll understand that when I show the presentation, but it's a tremendously powerful business system that will ensure your, sorry, if you stick to what we're doing, it will ensure your personal and generational wealth. It will help you generate that wealth and keep more of it than possibly you have in the past. So with that said, I'm going to thank you all for being here in person. I'm going to thank all of you who are watching this video at a later stage, and I'm going to share my screen and we'll get this presentation underway. And I use a PowerPoint presentation basically to stop me wandering off and talking about anything I feel like talking about for 3 or 4 hours. Instead, I just stick to the 3 or 4 hour presentation I've already prepared. So welcome to, that was a joke, by the way. Welcome to Wealth Warriors. I like that tagline, financial freedom fighters, because I do see us as the rebels that are fighting against the empire. And, you know, we're not making too much of a Star Wars reference. There's always been rebels as long as there have been governments. So I'm not talking about anarchists or anything like that. I'm talking about people that have realized that there's a system in place in the world and it's set up to make sure that we don't succeed. We can succeed to a certain extent, but we don't succeed to the same level as the global elites, the financial elites, whatever you want to call them. So this system is a way of cutting through that and imposing our rules on the world to carve out our own little bit of freedom, our own little bit of wealth, our own little bit of peace of mind, our own little bit of inheritance to pass on to future generations that can't then be taken away from us by taxes or by governments or even by wars. It can't be taken away from us by the global elite or changes the rules, regulations, laws, statutes, and anything else. Okay, we carve out our own little bit of our own empire that is untouchable by anybody else. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. To do that, we need a few things, one of which is money. So of necessity, we work with some online platforms to make some money. So let's have a look at what we're doing there. The first thing, of course, is a disclaimer. Nothing in this presentation is to be taken as financial or investment advice. I don't have any financial or investment advice, and I'm certainly not giving any. If that changes later in the presentation, and I do give some advice, I will say, here is my advice, and I will stand by that advice. But apart from that, nothing in this presentation is financial or investment advice. Again, Wealth Warriors is not an investment platform, it's a community. So you hear people trying to build a community within a particular platform. We don't do that. We're building a community and then we apply that community to whatever platforms we like. And if we get involved in a platform and later we don't like it, we bin that platform and replace it with another one. It's the community that's important. It's your community that's important to you. So that's what we're trying to do, build a community. And you'll see how we do that. It's a very, I'd say a clever system, but I'm biased. But it was built with the input of a lot of very clever people as well. If you do decide to invest in any of the platforms discussed, okay, so we're getting into the money side of things. I don't like to see people lose money. We do get involved in platforms, and once in a while the platform's not suitable, either by their own default, or later we say, this isn't what we signed up for, so we stop using that platform, okay? And so I don't like to see people lose money in those circumstances. I certainly don't like to see people put in financial difficulty by losing money in those circumstances. So if you do put money into anything that I talk about, okay, start small, build up big. Don't use money that's going to cause you financial difficulties. It won't cause you to go bankrupt or to not be able to pay your bills this month or buy food this month. Okay, that's too much money. Start small, and you've got time to build these things up. You'll see that in this presentation in a minute. So what is the problem with online businesses? Why can't we just join a platform and pour our heart and soul into it and build it flat out for a couple of years? Okay. And the reason is you have no control over that business. You have absolutely no control of what anybody else is doing with your money if you're not in control of your money. If you've given your money to one of these platforms, and we've all seen it. And there are some businesses out there that are set up deliberately to take your money off you. There are too many scams. And a scam, in my opinion, a scam is a business somebody set up deliberately to take money off of us with the intention of never giving it back. So they convince us they've got a system that they do. We put some money in and we get 2% a day, or they're going to invest in this, and then later we get our money back. And there's no application of our money at all. All they're doing to keep us sweet is they're giving us money that actually comes from. So we join today, tomorrow somebody else joins, and they pay us out with that new person's money. Okay, that's called a Ponzi scheme, and there's so many of those. It's unbelievable. They don't actually have a business. They just keep taking money off of new people. They pay out the older people to keep us sweet, because when we get paid out, a lot of people run around saying, "This business is brilliant. I've got a payout. I've got to withdraw," as if that's the any proof at all that this business isn't a scam. It isn't. That's just, they wouldn't build a very big scam if they didn't at least allow the first few people to withdraw money. So we'll withdraw our money. We go, "This is brilliant." We run around and tell everybody about it. They get more and more and more money, and eventually they start developing problems with their online processor, payment processor, or security issues with the website. So you can still deposit money, of course, but you can't withdraw your money. And people can put more and more money in, and eventually they say, "Well, it's now worthwhile us just taking the money and disappearing," and that's what they do. So they're set up deliberately to do that. The other types of business they're not scams, but they are so poorly run that they go bust. And people get all bent out of shape. And when one of these businesses fail, they say, "Oh, it was a scam." A lot of businesses that have failed, that people have invested money in, are not scams. They're just poorly run. And you see this on your own high street. There were businesses that were there 5 years ago that are not there now. There's probably some businesses that were there last year that aren't there now. They weren't scams. They weren't, out to get customers' money and not give them a haircut. They were, they were just badly run. They had the wrong price point, the wrong product in the wrong community. They couldn't train the staff. The things they were doing were not profitable. The government changed the regulations. They couldn't do that particular thing anymore, and it would have cost too much to change. There's so many businesses. If you go back through history, hundreds, thousands, millions of businesses are not around now that have been just in the last 100 years. Millions upon millions of businesses have started out and didn't adapt, didn't change, and so they went to the wall. Okay, and it happens all the time. But if we're clever, what we can do is either spot that coming, or we can mitigate it by making sure that that's not the one thing we're dependent on. And those businesses that aren't scams and aren't poorly run, they get shut down by regulators and government departments. Since I've been looking into this, I have seen so many times where a really good company gets brought to the attention of regulators. A few people complain about they can't get their withdrawals, or they complain about this, they complain about something else. And then the regulators say, "Okay, well, let me look at this. Okay, I don't understand this online business because I'm a government employee. I'm not an entrepreneur. I haven't got that entrepreneur streak running through me. So I don't really understand what's going on. But what I do know is that this looks a lot like this other business that somebody else shut down 2 years ago. So if somebody else shut down a business like this, I'm going to shut this business down." They only have to go to court, issue a simple desist and refrain notice or whatever it is, and that business can no longer trade and their assets get seized. Okay, and I see that happen to legitimate businesses so many times. Okay, so again, we can't spot that coming, but we can mitigate against those losses. So that's the problem with online businesses. And the other thing is, even if you choose wisely and everything goes well and you can make some money from that online business, you cannot become truly free just by having money. You can't become financially free and time free and free from that government control that is the yoke around the neck of every working person, whether they're wealthy or not, they still work in the world. It's a system designed to keep us in our place. And if you don't believe me, well, I feel sorry for you because you walk around with your eyes shut. But hopefully something I say in this presentation will just begin to prick you to go and check in the right direction, start investigating for yourself. So that's the issue. So what can we do about it? Well, if we just keep doing what we've been doing, then nothing changes. We're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past if we don't do something about it. However, collectively, we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls of the industry. Okay, if you've got to wait for me to fall in every single pitfall or pit hole, it's going to take a long time. But if together we can say, well, I did this and that was wrong, and I did that and that was wrong, and somebody else chips in with something else that was wrong, then collectively we can avoid more of those pitfalls. One of the things I like to say is that none of us are as smart as all of us. And we are safer together. Now, safe, you might think, well, why do we need to be safe? We need to be safe because if we constantly keep losing all of our money all the time, everything we try, we lose all of our money and it puts us back 2 years. We've got no more money to invest now for another 2 years. Okay, then there's a limit to how far we can get ahead with this. But if we stay safe and work together, we have the time to start small and build big. We don't need to try and build it all big right now. The reason people do that is a number of reasons. In fact, if you talk to psychologists, a lot of this industry is driven by greed. Okay, and so we try to avoid that. We're aware of it. We're all aware that we have this tendency to become greedy. That if there's something that we can, oh, thank you very much. If there's something that we can make a lot of money at, then we want to start as big as we can. So cash in our pension, take some money out of our house, use all our life savings. Okay, let's get this money made. Okay, but that's a fool's errand because of all the people you know that have done that, how many people do you know that it's worked for? So we don't do that. We don't panic. We don't jump in at the first sign of, oh, we can make a bit of money. We calm it down. We take our time. And we know that with the opportunities that we provide or that we're working with, we start small and build from there. So what are the benefits of being a wealth warrior? What are the benefits of following the rules? There's 7 concrete benefits. And you can see as you build your wealth warriors community yourself, you will see all 7 of these benefits come to fruition. The first one is you will never lose all of your money to a scammer again. Now, I can't promise you're not going to lose some money, but if you do lose some money, we like to keep it down to. Oh, would you mind muting yourself, Esther?
How do you do that?
It's okay, done it. Yeah, so you'll never lose all of your money. You might lose a little, and if that happens, I apologize, but that's there's very little can be done. Even if we get into the best business in the world, we don't know what they're going to do with it next week, next month, next year. They might change it all, and then we suddenly say, this doesn't work for us anymore, and we lose some money. Benefit 2, you can protect your permanent network of contacts. Now, really, this is the building block that I started with, because not necessarily me. I've been in this game for a very long time, and I know that when I explain a business to people, they're under no illusion at all that they're making their own decisions about whether to do it, whether not to do it, how much money to put in. Okay, I'm very clear about that. But however, not everybody has that particular skill, and so I see people running around saying, "Oh, I can't introduce anybody because but the last thing I did with my friends, they all lost money and now they hate me. They're not sending me Christmas cards anymore. They're not even coming to my wedding anniversary anymore. So, so I thought, well, what's the challenge and how can we mitigate that? And the challenge is that when these people invest their money, they haven't had explained to them it's not a cast iron contract. There's no guarantees. Somebody says, get in this, you're going to make this much money. And they get in and they don't make any money. They lose all the money. And so, if you're the one who's introduced those people, they hate you and you're fine with that because you hate you as well. You feel really, really guilty that you introduced your friends who lost some money. Okay. With benefit 2 here, we're protecting that permanent network. again, they may lose a little bit of money, but they're not going to lose all of their money to a scammer again. They're not going to lose their life savings or their pension fund. Benefit 3, build future business much faster with far more profit. I'm going to show you an illustration in a minute, and you'll be impressed at how that works. You put effort in now to build a platform, and that then rolls out to platform 2, platform 3, platform 4, and however many platforms we have. The work you've done in the past rolls out to future business. Benefit 4, you build one business and you grow all of the businesses. You put effort into one business, and then you bring people along to this type of presentation, and we'll explain to them why they should look at all the different platforms. And most people do. Most people get involved in every single platform because they understand the benefits of it. Benefit 5, you start small and build big over a long period of time. You don't jump in with both feet. You take it steady. Benefit 6, you can recoup your loans, mortgages, and recent expenditure. That's and this really, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, but suffice to say that one of the platforms we use teaches us how the money we've used to create, sorry, the effort we use, the energy we use to create a mortgage, we can now reclaim that mortgage. If the mortgage is still current, we can discharge it. In other words, it's paid up. Our property then becomes ours, and also the mortgage, when we took it out originally, that money comes back to us, and sometimes it comes back to us 2 or 3 or 4 times, because the mortgage companies take your mortgage, and then as soon as they get it, the day after, that's sold on the stock exchange. It's called mortgage securities. Okay, it's bundled up with a load of other mortgages from the same bank, sold on the stock exchange. And so the bank's got their money back, but now somebody else has bought that mortgage, and then later those people will sell it. They'll do their own mortgage securitization package or add it into some other funds they've got happening, and that mortgage has been sold on several times by the time you get to recoup it, and so you get all of that back. It's quite phenomenal. All the money you've left that's left your bank account over the last 3 years, you can get all of that money back. It doesn't matter why it left your bank account. It could be to pay a bill, pay your mortgage. It might have even been to pay a holiday, pay for a car, take money out as cash. Doesn't matter. It left your bank account. You're entitled to get that money back. Benefit 7 is to become free, wealthy, and live an abundant life. And I was on a webinar with somebody about this the other day, and this person explained, he said, we're not trying to beat the system, we're trying to get out of the system. We don't like the system. We don't want the system controlling us anymore. We just want to get out of it. We want to have our own free energy, free water, good quality produce, good quality food and consumer goods and so on, good quality housing, equality, freedom, all those good things. We don't want to try and beat the system. We want to get out of the system. And if that interests you, you haven't got to be interested in that in order for Wealth Warriors to work for you. But if you are interested in that, then that's an added benefit that you probably won't find in any other business system. So I'm going to show you an illustration, and I'm going to speed this up because I'm running out of time. Sorry, I didn't go through the assumptions. The first one is that we are dealing with 4 platforms, and you have 10 people in your group, if you like, in your community. Assume you're making $1,000 per month in each of these 4 platforms. Therefore, your total income is $4,000 per month. So in platform 1, this is you. You've introduced 3 of your friends, and they've introduced various of their friends as well. So you have 10 people in your business, and now your income is $1,000 per month. So let's move that out of the way and make room for platform 2. Platform 2, you may have noticed that you introduce exactly the same people as you did in platform 1, and they introduce exactly the same people in platform 2. That's how Wealth Warriors works. That's just the process of what we do. You always put the same people in the same positions in your businesses, because that's who they are in your permanent network of friends. So now your income has gone up to $2,000 per month. All your effort in this case was put into building platform 1. Then when we introduced platform 2, it took very, very little effort on your part, or on anybody's part really, to build platform 2, because it followed exactly the same pattern as platform 1. So this is what I was saying earlier about you get the benefit of the work you've done previously. So let's move platform 2 out of the way to make room for platform 3. And exactly the same thing happens here. You have introduced the same people who's introduced the same people. So now your income goes up to $3,000 per month. The reality is that each of these platforms will have different compensation plans and payment structures. Okay, so you won't be getting exactly the same from each one, but the principle's the same. Move that out of the way then to make room for platform 4. And I'm sure you can see platform 4, exactly the same thing applies. And now your income goes up to $4,000 per month. So let's move that there. This is a permanent position now. We're running like this, 4 platforms where you're making $4,000 per month. You're helping other people. Now, what can happen here is that some of the people in your network can introduce other people. So your income will increase not in one platform, but in all 4 platforms. It won't happen if somebody gets introduced to platform 3, for example, it won't happen immediately. They sign up in all the other platforms, but it will over a period of time. And then you might even introduce some new people. So your business is going to continue to grow, and so your income is going to continue to grow. Let's assume that something happens to platform 4. Maybe the person who's running that business, we thought it was a well-run business, but it actually turns out he's the only one who knows anything about it. He's got all the money sat in a trays or device in his back office, and he's just been hit by a bus and he's in a coma in hospital. He's not going to die. I wouldn't do that to him, but he's not around for a few years. And so platform 4 folds. Nobody's fault. These things happen, but he didn't have a very strong succession plan, and therefore platform 4 is no longer viable for us to use. So it goes, and we're back down to 3 platforms, and your income drops all the way down to $3,000 per month. Well, if you could survive on $4,000 a month, you could probably survive on $3,000 a month. You haven't lost everything. But then our job is to find another platform to replace platform 4. Let's call it platform 5. It just comes off the top of my head like that. I don't know where these ideas come from. Platform 5. And as we introduce platform 5, you introduce your same 3 friends to platform 5 as you did in the first 3 platforms. They introduce their friends. And within a few days of us introducing platform 5, your income is back up to $4,000 per month. And I do mean a few days, a couple of weeks maybe. If you have a very large community, thousands of people, it might take a month or more for the word to get spread through the whole community. But with 10 people, that should happen in a couple of hours with the systems we have in place. So there we go. Platform 5 has replaced platform 4, and we run like this for a long time. So I'm sure you get the benefits of that and how it all works. I'm going to skip through the rules because I want to get on to some other stuff in a minute. But just very quickly, don't sign up on any other platforms that comes along. If you do, you'll be destroying your own Wealth Warriors community. I know it's hard for you to understand that. I'm not going to labor it. I've covered it in other videos. Just take my word for it. If you do half of Wealth Warriors and half of stuff on your own, it won't work. You'll be shooting yourself in the foot. And you'll be back in the position of your people will be losing money, you'll lose friends, and so on. Rule number 2, do sign up in all the platforms that we adopt. Don't try and pick and mix. If you don't like a particular one, we'll just do it anyway. Put all your effort into the other ones, but just do your part in the platforms that you don't like, because the people you introduce may love the platform that you don't like. Don't worry about it. Do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. That's the most important thing we can do. Do get your personally introduced people to do the same, and do support your own people by learning about all of the platforms that we adopt. Now, you don't have to be an expert in all the platforms, but at least make sure they know you can help people get registered, deposit some money, get set up by buying contracts or boosters or whatever the particular business is, just so that you can help people get started. You don't have to be an expert by any means. The rules are to ensure you get security of income. Build your permanent network and become wealthy and live an abundant life. And remember, platforms come and go, but the community is permanent. Can you imagine if you went and just joined the next platform that came along that you liked the look of, and you'd completely destroyed your community, your Wealth Warriors community that you've been building for 3 years, and then that's the platform that fails. But meanwhile, what you've done is you taught your people that what we're doing with Wealth Warriors isn't important. It's more important to grab whatever you can as quickly as you can, get in quick, build as fast as you can, make as much money as you can, and then get out. Okay, and you're back to doing what everybody else does, which is basically just following your greed and losing money, losing friends. Okay, so I'm not telling people not to do that. I'm saying if you do that, it's absolutely pointless you being involved in Wealth Warriors, because we're advocating don't do that. We're advocating show some restraint, get into a system once we've looked at it and we've tried it and tested it, and we're confident that it's going to be a good addition to Wealth Warriors. That's the time to get in, because then you will have a network of people you can just slot into that brand new business. So platforms come and go, but the community, your community, what you ideally want is a permanent community. So what are our criteria? Well, one, it must be available in the whole world. So therefore, everyone that's in our community can get involved. Imagine you have a community where you have some people in France, for example, and then we adopt a platform that isn't allowed to be operated in France. Well, one, we wouldn't adopt that platform, but all of your French people couldn't get involved. What would that do to your plan of maintaining lines of sponsorship? You couldn't do it. Therefore, we won't adopt that platform. People must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for very low entry cost, i.e. $100. We're looking at one now that is about $200. So there's nothing we can do about that, but it does look like being a good program. And the reason we do 1, 2, and 3 is so that we can maintain lines of sponsorship. And it must be based on real world applications. I alluded to this earlier, people taking money and moving money around and giving new people's money to old people. We don't get involved in that. Breeding horses, and we don't even get involved in things with products, because not everybody can do a product-based business. If 25 years at Amway taught me anything, it was that. Not everybody can do a product-based business, even though some people that do it make a lot of money. We must be able, if there is a company behind it, then we must be able to verify the company's legal status. And if possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or business owner, and having met him, get our questions answered. I see so many compensation plans that are not viable and or not sustainable. And so we avoid those types of compensation plans. They may change it later in a year's time, 2 years' time. Generally not. Generally, I don't see them improving compensation plans. I don't see anybody improving compensation plans to benefit us. I've seen the benefit change compensation plans to benefit the company and to benefit the top dog type network gurus, the so-called leaders. Okay, I see them benefiting more, but I've never seen them compensate us, the worker ants, more. The membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project. Okay, so if we have people who don't want to get involved in gambling or money lending or whatever for moral reasons, religious reasons, then we just can't get involved in that platform at all. So we have 4 platforms. We have Matrix Freedom, BitHarvest, Cryptex, and at the moment we have M9 NovaMind. We're looking to replace that, and I think we will. I'm almost certain we're going to be replacing that as a Wealth Warriors platform, and I'll cover that in a few seconds. So Matrix Freedom is part of the freedom movement. And some of you have heard about the freedom movement, maybe not absolutely certain what it is, but this is Matrix Freedom that's going to give us the groundwork wherein we can become free from the entanglement of government, of legal issues, of taxation, of just all sorts of control mechanisms that at the moment control pretty much all aspects of your life. You are also, once you do get involved in that, you can then recoup your recent expenditures from your bank, accounts. You can recoup recent expenditures such as loans, taxes, mortgages, and so on. And you can also create your own currency. You can say, for example, I want this year I want $200,000 to live on. So you create $200,000. Takes about 6 to 8 weeks. But then $200,000 will turn up in your bank account and you can live on that for a year. And next year you say, well, now I need another $200,000, and you create it next year as well. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing with Matrix Freedom. The main aim is to get free, but the benefits of protecting your assets in private trusts and recouping all your finances is absolutely phenomenal. BitHarvest is a great business. It's basically you purchase electronic devices that earn you a passive income every day paid in Bitcoin. Okay, BitHarvest has been around for about 15, 16 months now, paid out every single day, both commissions and Bitcoin every single day. And it's a great business. It's going to be around for at least 140 years, helping miners to mine more Bitcoin. And we help miners improve their performance and we get a share of that performance. So it's a good business. And the idea there is you buy electronic devices, and as you earn from them, then you purchase more electronic devices. My personal thing is I withdraw half of my profits and put it into other things, and I reinvest half of my profits. You do what you like, of course. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying that's just what I do. And so you end up with more and more and more electronic devices. They're called boosters. You get more of those every day, every week, every month. So you make more Bitcoin over a period of time. You start small, you build big. Cryptex is a great business. I've been all over this today. There's a development there today. You can purchase a $100 smart contract that will arrange for you to earn a huge return of 35,000% or more over 3 years. I think it's 454,000% over 5 years, and 1.5. No, I can't think now, but about 3 or 4 times that over 7 years. 454,000. Yes, so it's about 1.4 thousand million%. I think I got that right. Who cares? But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a huge amount of money. The reason I've been all over it today is because they've just introduced 2 new contracts that only run for 24 months. So it's not just 3, 5, or 7 years now. You can do it for 2 years. And the 2 different contracts are $100 will get you 1 contract, and after 2 years you will cash out for about $20,000. And if you buy a package of 10 of those contracts, you'll cash out for somewhere in the region of $400,000 after 2 years. So it's an incredible, incredible business. When you understand how it works, I'm not going to go through how it works. When you understand how it works, you'll realize what a clever, clever business that is. 9M is a staking business. So you put money into 9M and you stake it for a period of time. You decide how long, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, or 360 days. And you receive a fixed amount per day, anywhere from 0.5% up to almost 1% per day, compounded. And you can, again, you can start small and build large. Now, the reason we've ended up in 9M is because we're actually with another business beforehand that failed, and 9M promised us that whatever money we've got in that previous business, they would guarantee. So out of their own pocket, they are prepared to guarantee a return of that amount of money. So we were migrated into this new business, this 9M business, not against our will, but without that much consultation with us. And so we went along with it. One, I didn't want people to lose money by not having the opportunity to get their lost money back. But 2, as I was looking at it, I was thinking, I'm not absolutely certain if I was presented with this business right now, if it would pass muster and we would get involved in 9M. And I've come to the conclusion pretty much, unless people get hold of me in the next couple of days to say, no, don't do it, it's a brilliant business, and explain to me why, I'm going to have to say right now that I think we're not going to be involved in 9M any longer. We're not going to be promoting it. Those of us that are in it still have some money in it. Sure, go ahead, cash in your money, stick with it if you want to. I just don't think, I haven't got confidence in it that it's going to be around for a long period of time. And so I don't want us to be talking to brand new people about, look at us, we're wealth warriors, rely on us to show you good investments. And then we show them this, because I'm not convinced that is what we should be showing people. So that's where I am with 9M. And like I say, this is a democracy. You're free to contact me and put your case forward for sticking with 9M. But I'm pretty much made up my mind on that. And all of the above come with additional rewards for taking part in team building activities. Now, I haven't talked now about an adopted platform because we haven't adopted it yet, but there is one very, very exciting project that we're looking at. We're actually helping, well, some wealth warriors are the beta testers for this new system called Viralio. And Viralio is an AI trading bot. So you notice we don't have a trading bot. We don't have staking in the system either. So we've got room for a staking platform. We've got room for an AI trading bot, and it may well be Viralio fills the slot for the trading bot. So it's being developed by some friends of mine, one of whom I've known for 30 blah, blah, blah years, a lot of years. And the other one I've known for about 25 years. Very, very clever people. They're involved in another business that they're driving worldwide, and they only developed this system really to support them in their efforts with their other business. So it's not like somebody thought, I know, I've got a good idea, let's go and build this AI trading business and get a lot of people in. I actually had to talk the owner into sharing this with me, so that, and I say, look, I can give you some money to do this. If you set this up, I'll pay you 10%, and every time I make some money, you make 10%. He said, that's what I said, and I can also introduce some other people. Come on, let's make this a business where we can get a lot of people involved. And eventually they gave in and decided that that's worth the effort. So we're beta testing it. The last testing they did, I believe, was on Friday. So they're updating the system at the moment. But we had about, I didn't count them, but we had about 10 or 12 trades, most of which won on Friday, and most of them won 2 to 2.5% profit per trade. So that's pretty cool. I was excited about that. I don't guarantee that that's what's going to happen in the future, but I was excited about that. So all of these platforms, these three that I talked about, not including 9M and also including Viralio, they have additional rewards for team building. You introduce people, you get rewarded for that. And that's one of the things we need for Wealth Warriors. So just in the closing part of Wealth Warriors, we run a communication system. It's a Telegram group. It's called a super group. And make sure you upline adds you to that group, or that you get hold of me. There are a number of admins, so you can track down any of the admins to add you to the group or me. Because that's where we post all the different stuff about Wealth Warriors. Within the Wealth Warriors super group, there's a topic for each of the platforms we're involved with, plus a few other things like motivation. And I write up a screen whenever I investigate a company that's a good company but not suitable for Wealth Warriors. I write it up and put it in there. When I investigate a company that's not suitable for Wealth Warriors, I write it up and I put it in there. There's also some topics there from businesses we got involved with a long time ago. People still have money involved in that, and they're not able to get the money out just yet. So we're keeping a track of that, of those businesses. And when the time's right, then we'll post within those topics. We'll post that this is what you need to do to get your money out, and then we will close those topics down once everybody's got their money out. So there's a lot of information in that Telegram group. We hold this Zoom call every Sunday at 10 o'clock. So attend yourself and bring new people. Make sure your people attend. And it's a shortcut to fast growth. Like I said, Wealth Warriors now is ready to start rolling out to the rest of the world. And the reason you would bring people to this or get people to watch this video is because it's very, very difficult to explain. And I don't explain, I don't try to explain to brand new people about how Wealth Warriors works. What I'm interested in doing is getting somebody involved in one of the platforms. So when I'm talking to somebody, they say, so what have you got that's, or I put an advert out, or I've posted a message or something, I get a response. So I say, well, let's talk about that. And I get them involved in one of the platforms. After they're involved in one of the platforms, then I have the conversation and say, listen, this isn't just one platform. This is part of a system called Wealth Warriors. I'd like to introduce you to Wealth Warriors. We have a number of other platforms that I think will interest you. Meanwhile, to tell you about Wealth Warriors, let me take you to a Zoom call, or let me show you this video. So on the video, then it says, we have 4 platforms. You need to, if you're in one, you need to get in the other 3. And when you introduce people, you need to get them in the other 3 as well. Okay, so I let the video do all the heavy lifting, because if you show somebody one business and then say, oh, by the way, I've got another business. Oh, by the way, I've got another business. It sounds like you're getting a little bit desperate. It sounds like you've got to try and convince people to get into everything with you. Whereas when they see the reason they should get in isn't so they can be in all four platforms, it's so that they can start developing their permanent community, protect their friends, build a business where they benefit from future business benefits from past effort. When they understand all these benefits, then they go, got it. I'm not particularly interested in that one, but I'll put $100 in just to be part of the team, part of the system, because I might have some other people in the future who love that particular business. So I definitely want to be promoting and getting all the commissions I can from all of those businesses. So make sure people attend or get hold of this video, because it's a shortcut to fast growth. We can't explain this all to somebody. We need to do it via a presentation or via this video. Something else you need to do is attend the Zoom calls of all the platforms. So I try, and I don't always achieve it. Some of you know I've not been that reliable with my time since I've been ill the last year or so, just over. But I do try to get on one Zoom call for each of the platforms every week. So if we have 4 platforms, that's 4 Zoom calls. And if you're going to build a large community to make a large amount of money, 4 Zoom calls a week is not a massive drain on your resources. We don't need to do a Zoom call on every platform every night, even though some of the people involved just in those platforms would like us to. So the schedule is published in the Telegram group. Take your people with you. Always a good way to make sure people attend. And again, we don't want to be experts in the platforms, but something you hear on one of those Zoom calls may prompt you to then say, oh, I tell you what, I'll talk to my brother-in-law about that. He used to be an accountant, and accountants think this about this business, so I'll talk to him about that. And do you see what I mean? So be there, get ideas and thoughts, and it will help you grow and develop your business. None of us are as smart as all of us. Never forget that. For Matrix Freedom, work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace. Get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible so you can register for free. In fact, there's a website. I'll give you the website address in a minute. And there are a lot of 10-minute videos. They're called Why It Works videos. At the top, there's a tab at the top that says Why It Works, and you can look through, I think it's something like 35 or 40 different videos. Each one takes 10 minutes to explain how that particular aspect of Matrix Freedom works. There's a huge amount to know, and I'll just give you a warning now, and I really like everybody to get involved in this, in Matrix Freedom. But what I'll tell you is it's not the sort of business where they're going to hold your hand and walk you through it. You need to be the one doing the work, attending the webinars, watching the videos, putting yourself there, out there, making sure you get what you want from the system. They'll help you, but they won't chase you. With some businesses, I'll chase people up and say, I haven't seen you on a Zoom call for Bit Harvest for a couple of weeks. Are you okay? Do you want to come along to this Zoom call with me? And this sort of thing. Okay, I don't do that for Matrix Freedom. You've got to be able to do it yourself. That's just the nature of that business. If they were to try and take you by the hand, they would be creating a liability for themselves, because people would feel that they're offering a service that they're not offering. What they're offering is education. Okay, so very important to understand that. So what do you do now? Well, number one, get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation. Personally, what I've done is all my referral links are in a little text document. And so I would send somebody that text document, or I would just cut and paste that text into an email, cut it into a Telegram, Facebook post, WhatsApp post, whatever it is I'm communicating with them. And just that's it. I know all my links are covered up to date, and they just go out quickly and easily. It's not a big deal for me to show somebody. Somebody says, oh, I looked at that video, I'm interested in this. Great, here's all the links. Register in all the opportunities and make a note of your referral links. Make a little text document ready to send out to people. Pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. So when they say, yes, I'm interested, what do I get in? What do I want to do? Then you can give them all of your links. Now, if you only get them in, if you were to approach them, for example, about cryptex, and so they get involved in cryptex, now you can say, let's go and have a look at what Wealth Warriors are doing. Here's a video. Here's the rest of my links. Okay, then they'll understand it. make a minimum payment into all opportunities. You may not be able to do that immediately, but just over a period of time, plan to put, I'll fund that one this month, that one next month, that one the month after, and so on. Select the project that interests you the most and make minimum payments to get that platform started. Ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. So this is the same message from the other side. Attend a Zoom call or watch a video for each platform you funded. And as new platforms are added, so now we're going to introduce a new platform as soon as the beta testing is done. I'm pretty sure we're going to be introducing that to Wealth Warriors. So then what would happen is you would make sure and get the referral link from your upline, join as quickly as possible, get your referral link, then you pass your referral link to your frontline people, and then you get on a presentation for that new platform to understand what it's all about. So notice when you're in Wealth Warriors, you register for the platforms, then you find out about the platforms. You don't find out about the platform and go, do I want to join? Well, you can do that, but it's kind of, you're missing the point if you do that. Is get in and then find out about it. And this is why Wealth Warriors is vastly different from anything you've seen before. And it's vastly different. I have some of these top people. If I mention some of the names of the people I've spoken to in the last month, you will be amazed. And they say, I've seen your videos. Somebody passed me your video. It's amazing what you're doing. That's an incredible system. Can you teach me how to do it? And I say, absolutely. Let's get together. And I talk it through with them. And they say, well, what about this? And I say, no, we don't do that. Yeah, what about, building? No, we don't do that. That's, we don't get people to just jump in and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. They go, well, no, I don't think I like this anymore. So I'm not surprised because it doesn't fuel your ego. I don't say this to them, but this is what I'm thinking. It doesn't fuel your ego. It's about the safety and security of the team, of the network, the community is paramount. And so I've never had all the people I've explained it to who say this is a brilliant system, not one of them has decided to do anything even remotely similar to it. In fact, there's one guy I know. If I mentioned his name, most of you would know him. He's been a great leader in so many businesses. He cannot get his head around what we're doing, what I'm doing. And he just keeps getting these things, chucks a load of money at it, build it fast. So I'm making this much money. Yeah, great. But at some point, you've got to do it all over again, And worse than that, not everybody you work with can do the same as you're doing. They can't all get the same rewards you're getting. It's based on your personality, your character, your drive, your hard work. You can't share that with anybody else. So you only have to promote the one or two platforms that you're excited about. Then bring your new members to Wealth Warriors for them to learn why they should sign up on all 4 platforms. I think I've done that point to death. I think you understand that now, or if you don't by now, you never will. Build one platform and have 4 more platforms grow below you. And in fact, at some point in the future, it'll be a 5th platform, a 6th platform, and so on. So you can get, this is marketing and landing pages. You can get a Wealth Warriors landing page by signing up for a free account with System.io. If you take that link, send it and put it into, if you were able to click on that link, which I will make available in the chat if I can, you click on that and you'll have an account registered with System.io. They will duplicate my landing page. They'll duplicate my emails and put it all in your account. Then you will have your own link that you can give out to people to go to your landing page. Okay. The only thing you have to do is to change the referral links in the emails because they're my referral link at the moment. So you need to change it for yours. So that's one freebie thing. Another freebie thing is a Cryptex landing page. This is available to everybody through the help and support system through Cryptex. We have a page called Boards. Within Boards is a system that's provided for mainly computer programmers or project people to all be able to collaborate on their project. One can upload a diagram, one can upload a bit of code, one can upload a video, one can upload a PDF document, and so on. So that's what it's for. And our upline have put this together so that we can get all of this information. One of the things we can do is take that link and replace this bit here at the end. The C12345678890. Replace that with your Cryptex account number and pass that whole link out to your friends. They'll go to a landing page. They can see some videos of how it works. They can see a video of somebody withdrawing $400,000. They can see all sorts of information, and when they click on any of the buttons in your landing page to go to register, they will register with you. So that's a great little tool, free of charge. Otherwise, you have to send your referral link from Cryptex, and all they get, you send them a link, and all they get is a registration page. Some people that will work with, most people would prefer to look at a landing page, find out about things before they push the button to sign up. Marketing materials, chat groups, PDF documents, videos, prospecting scripts, introduction emails, YouTube channels, and a whole lot more can be found here. In BitHarvest, we have a Telegram group. This isn't my group. This is available to all people in BitHarvest. It's a BitHarvest info group. And I believe actually there's a new downloads page for BitHarvest. So you should be able to get hold of that through, if you're in Telegram, you just search for BitHarvest downloads. In M9, 9M, that should be. That's why it's not working, because I spelled M9 wrong. So that's the link that you will go to a Notion site. Notion is the same as boards to a large extent, so there's lots of information, but we don't need to worry about 9M. Cryptex, there's Cryptex boards here, and Matrix Freedom. This is the website where you can find all of those 10-minute videos. If you want to join Matrix Freedom, get the link from your upline, and you can join for free. And this is slightly different again, that you don't automatically become an affiliate when you join Matrix Freedom. You become a member. If you want to be an affiliate, you have to ask for it, and they will send you, they'll register you as an affiliate and send you an affiliate link. So, and I'd recommend you do that, make an affiliate link, because the people that you introduce will make a lot of money and you get compensated for that as well. So the money may as well go to you as somebody else. In that, they're going to pay for the services they're going to get. They're going to pay that money anyway. So you may as well cut yourself in for a slice of the pie. So a quick reminder, what we're doing here, we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. We only work with companies who are in it for the long term. And sometimes we choose incorrectly, but we weed those companies out and replace them as quickly as we can. We only work with companies that are above board, and we build a large asset. So as soon as we get a sniff of something's not quite right, we can't get the information we need, whatever, then we're gone. We build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income. I used to do a whole hour-and-a-half presentation on building an asset to then multiply it out, compound it, or use multiply the earnings or whatever it was, and turning a small asset, whether it's properties or ATM machines or boosters or staking contracts. Okay, so you start small and you build up that asset, because the asset is the thing that makes you the income, not you. It's not your efforts, it's the asset that makes the income. So you make the asset larger, therefore the income becomes larger. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. And that's kind of why I feel a little bit silly about 9M. There were different pressures at play that kind of coerced me. I got a little bit blindsided. I was trying to do the right thing for everybody, and it turns out that's a fool's errand. So we're going to rethink, or we've rethought that. And we apply our rules. And again, I could talk about this single point for hours, because we're so used to in this industry, we get into a platform, we just take whatever they give us. And if they change something, well, we've got too much invested now, we've got to stick with it, really. Or, they start messing things around and we just have to put up with the pain. Well, we don't need to do that. If a platform goes out of, changes parameters, we don't like it anymore, well, we'll bin it and we'll replace them. Or possibly even replace them and then bin them. Okay, it's about what we want. We apply our rules to achieve our outcomes. It's not what any one company wants us to do. It's not what any one platform wants for us. It's what we want for ourselves. George Bernard Shaw once said, the man who gets ahead in life is the man who gets out there and finds the circumstances he's looking for. And if he can't find them, he creates them. And I think if I were to explain in very simple terms what Wealth Warriors is, that's what I did. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so we've created it. So that's the whole thing. Finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. When you're involved in a platform, never share your password or other credentials with anyone, unless you absolutely trust them. But I've seen so many people share their credentials with their uploader who they absolutely trust, and then they wonder where all the money's gone. So just don't do it. Where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts. And if you don't know what it is, there'll be an FAQ in the platform somewhere that tells you how to do it. Or Google, how do I set up my 2FA? And they will tell you. Google's good at that stuff. Back up. So, and the reason I say that is because I actually had a system years ago where we would set up this 2FA, and I spent half of my life teaching people how to set up 2FA on their accounts. I'm thinking, is this what my life has come to? I can't build my business. I'm too busy helping people who don't understand how to set up 2FA security. And the reason I suggest 2FA, sorry, let me just finish my coffee. Because my throat's just beginning to go, which is good because I've only got 2 more bullet points left. The reason 2FA is so critical. Yes, you've got it when you get a platform, you've got a password, you've got a username, okay. And if the security of that platform is any good, that's perfectly fine, perfectly safe. However, how many times have we heard of all sorts of websites, government websites, bank websites, newspapers, government agencies, online businesses, they get hacked, okay, and all of that information is out there. And if that's all somebody needs in order to get to your Bitcoin, you're snookered. 2FA is something you set up. You have it on your phone. It's your security. Even if somebody gets your password and your username, they cannot do anything without the 2FA code. And if they then write to the platform owners and say, I forgot my 2FA code, can you reset it? The first thing they'll do is send you an email. When they get into your platform and your account and they try and change that email address, the first thing that will happen is that company will write to you and say somebody wants to change your password. Okay, so that's your only security. The 2FA code is your gatekeeper. And I strongly recommend set it up and encourage everybody you know to set it up. Make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death. Okay, so back up your passwords, keep them safe. If you have a safe, put them in the safe and make sure that the people who are going to need to get that information, if you're it might not be death, it might be incapacitation, or you might just be, I don't know, anything might happen. All of a sudden, nobody knows you've got $1 million worth of Bitcoin and even less how to access it. So make sure that information is available to people. So that's it. Welcome to Wealth Warriors. We are the rebels in the jungle fighting against what I refer to as the illegitimate government, the world elite, the world government. And if you don't think there is such a thing, unfortunately, you're in for a rude awakening. And what I would say is get back to the person who invited you on this call or referred you to this video. They're ready and waiting to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal and generational wealth. So with that, I'm going to stop the sharing. I'm going to come back to the room. I'm going to stop the recording. And before I stop the recording, I'm going to say we do this Zoom call every Sunday evening, 10 o'clock UK time. So I'll look forward to seeing some of you on that Zoom call. I'm also doing Wednesday evening call for people that are already involved in Wealth Warriors. So if you've seen this video or been on this presentation, that's fine. You can come along on Wednesday and I will run through a brief discussion on each of the different platforms we're using, including the one that we're trialing. So that's it. You can come to, if somebody hasn't seen this presentation, don't bring them to the one about the platforms. It'll just confuse them. So with that said, thank you for your attention. Look forward to seeing you all same time, same channel next week. God bless.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.